Hello?
Maybe.
We're back.
Hi, everybody. And
Let's
welcome
find out.
a third time to episode 25 of Better Than Heroes. We're excited to be here.
I don't believe it.
I know. I can't. The third time's the charm on this one.
I can't handle it again.
We almost scrapped episode 25 and moved on to 26.
Season 2, episode 1.
Yeah.
We're just going to go season 3.
I'm Rachel Weeks, and I play Klik, the level 6 Tohr-Kreen fighter. We always recommend that if you like the show, you tell your friends about it, but it is the perfect time to do it because, as Jordan said, we've officially wrapped up Arc 1 of the Better Than Heroes story. And we're set to embark on Arc 2 tonight. This week we'll release a super recap of all of the Arc 1 that will lay out what has happened so far, or you can catch up and watch all of our episodes on our YouTube channel. But if you don't feel like catching up fully, that's okay. Arc 2 will include all the same characters that you know and love and will take us on a brand new adventure, so it'll be easy for new people to jump in. Consequently, it is the perfect time to tell your friends about it. If tonight is your first episode of Better Than Heroes, say hi in chat. We will gift a free sub to the first 5 people that are new and say hello and made it through our technical issues.
One down. I've already gifted a sub tonight.
You've already gifted one, so we have 4 more subs to give out. Say hello if you're new in chat. Before we get started, we do have a quick reminder that the Better Than Heroes team will be guest starring on the Stream of Blood. On Saturday, November 21st, we're going to be playing Blades in the Dark with the
pumped.
Stream of Blood team. It's going to be super fun, so follow us there too.
Sorry in advance when Jared Logan eats you all.
He's gonna get you. He's gonna get you. I'll be there watching. I cannot wait. I'm Andrew Ovredahl. I play the human bard, Flute, a.K.A. the Windrider, and I just wanted to mention our Patreon. We've got all kinds of cool bonus stuff. We even have D&D games that you can play with us. Tomorrow, we will release our special behind-the-scenes podcast Later Than Heroes, so if you're a Patreon, watch for that tomorrow. That'll be out. And if you have already been supporting us on there, thank you a zillion. That's super awesome and much appreciated.
Absolutely. My name is Jordan Dahl, and I play the Moonboy, a now level 6 Moonboy, with a set of fancy new shoes that I can't wait to check out tonight, all courtesy of the fine folks over at Big Top Studios. Thank you, Big Top Studios, for providing all magical items for the show from Big Top Studios. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm Aaron Urist. I play K.A.I. Hammerstein, the level 6 Artificer. And once again tonight we have live sound on our show, live music from Jason Wardell. It's a privilege to have him here once again. It's such a fun part of the show. And we're going to get into it. We're going to watch our recap from last week, or the week before last week, because we were off. And we're going to watch our intro video, and then we're going to play Dungeons. No dragons this week.
Oh, no dragons this week.
What happened to the dragons?
Oh,
We couldn't get the dragons?
Crap on my... Well, I had notes for a 6 dragon fight, so I'm going to change it over.
It's such an important part of... All right.
Get us out of here, Kay, so I can redo the session.
We got to scrounge up some dragons.
Last time on Better Than Heroes, in the shadow of a mysterious portal on a remote island in the algae fields of Chandos, Janice Droplet the Ooze had just eaten an acquaintance of the crew, Cyrus Knickerbocker. Though she attempted to lie, her falsehoods were transparent. As the flabbergasted crew discussed how to react, Flute suddenly attacked Janice. Combat was short-lived as Janice responded by clobbering the Windrider into unconsciousness and outing his secret to the Moonboy. Janice bade Klik, who stood between her and the portal, to let her leave in peace, which Klik did after some deliberation. Back on the dinger, Klik and Cobble had a heart-to-heart, as did K.A.I and the Mold Man Whoosh. The dinger returned to Firmaregna, where the crew learned that they had become quite famous overnight for driving off the widowers. Moonboy finally received his extraordinary shoes. Talon, the crew's mechanical armed friend, dropped a great deal of knowledge, including the name and location of a moon girl. She was called Liloon and was one of 4 legendary artificers known as cisterns. She was being hunted by the Meridian Tract. Will the crew go off in search of this moon girl? What does the Meridian Tract want with her? What do those cool new shoes do? Find out next time on Better Than Heroes.
All right, here we are. So, after leaving the last planet that you were on, this spell-jamming crew, it's gone back out into space. We find the ship and the party on it at terminal speed, just rushing through space. Now that you've departed, your captain, who you know is tucked inside of this ship, this eccentric dwarf who what you all in real life would know is wearing a cowboy hat. I haven't decided if cowboys are canonical yet, but you all would recognize it as a cowboy hat. Yeah. So he's tucked away into his corners, and he is accessing the magical spell jamming helm that allows this flying ship to go through the open expanse, this ocean of space that is between the many fantastic planets of this galactic realm. And as we zoom in and get a closer look on this ship, the first thing you see is Goat, the Goliathan bosun of the ship. She's clearly distracting herself. Like, it would be clear to any of you crew members that she's distracting herself from the nerves that are already hitting her about the possibility of going on more adventures. But she's staying busy by going over each and every repair that was done on Firmaregna to kind of make sure it's all ship-shape. Sorry for that. And then quickly after that, you see snoozing up in the crow's nest is Cobble, the kobold navigator of the ship, this very old kobold who's sneaky and sassy, and she probably wouldn't admit it to you, but she's feeling a bit fried too, so she's up in the crow's nest napping. And then we go over to the tiny little halfling Relic, who's got, a nice haircut and some kind of faded leathers, but he's up there by the huge ballista shooter that's at the front of the dinger, and he's somehow roped Talon into talking to him about the ballista, and you could overhear him asking asking her how to rebalance this misaligned ballista, so he can stop compensating for the unknown trajectory variables that he has to when he shoots it, which is really just him making up excuses for why he misses so often, and she quickly giving it a once-over. It's I don't know what you're talking about. And Talon, this stranger sort of that is on the ship with you, she is the person who witnessed you all defeat Ventress, the elven leader of a secretive but powerful organization known as the Meridian Tract. And she approached you all on the last place you were at with a promise of her expertise, potentially offering you some allyship with maybe her friends, but most importantly, she is offering to help you find Liloon, this powerful arcanist moon girl, moon gnome. And that's it. That's the whole ship besides you all, the party. So, what are you all doing as your ship has a little bit of downtime before it gets into the deeper bits of wild space?
I'm going to find K.A.I. I'm not sure where he would be. And if you're new to the show, I am a human bard. I have one eye. I was in a let's call it an accident. I was in a ship-to-ship collision. An accident, if you will.
It was an accident.
It's the opposite of an accident.
It was an on-purpose mistake, as it turned out.
Yeah, vehicular man suicide.
I dropped an anchor on a ship I was on to make the ship behind us crash into it.
And it worked. It worked.
And
great.
it worked so well.
It was incredible.
You're going to find K.A.I down
And I'm gonna go find K.A.I, yeah, and because I
down
just
in the kitchen/workshop area.
yeah, and yeah, because K.A.I kind of serves as our medic, jack of all trades, but maybe a medic as well, and yeah, I'll find K.A.I and kind of come in and I'll ask K.A.I, I just wonder if you might have a look at me. I haven't been feeling that well since that crash.
What's that? And I'm just neck deep in tinkering with various objects. I've got Klik's Githka out on the table and I'm working on it. You're not feeling well?
I can come back. I can see you.
No.
You're busy.
It's fine, and I'll clear the table.
Yeah, there's this like
magic.
just big square table in the middle of the kitchen that is kind of like the communal like island basically, and there's just stuff spread out all across, and you can pretty easily too. I imagine this is a pretty easy like pulling it all back into whatever your toolbox is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Bag of holding.
There you go.
I will, just sort of prestidigitate it all back in there. Have a seat.
Yeah, I'll set up like it's a doctor's table.
Oh,
high up on the table. Yeah.
Like in the sink, in dirty dishes.
Right, that's a bit cold.
Sort of, pokes the side of your face. Tugs on your earlobe. What seems to be the problem?
I just feel a bit heavier in my shoes. Is all. I used to feel light, but ever since that crash, I just feel heavy.
Do you find you have less interest in doing things that you used to enjoy?
oh no.
I nod. Like,
Do you find yourself sleeping, having trouble sleeping or sleeping too much?
well, whenever I can, yeah.
Having trouble eating or eating too much?
Yeah, that suppose so.
Do you ever feel like a failure? Like you failed people?
Considering I got punked and knocked out with one punch in the most recent episode,
That did happen.
definitely feeling that way.
Well, I can make a medicine check, but it seems like you have depression.
What's that? What's depression?
What?
Doesn't exist in this world.
What's a medicine check?
Guys, fantasy role-playing game.
No,
Depression can't enter into this world.
Yes.
I can't have it.
I can't handle it.
Have it too.
No, I'm just kidding. You've got magic.
I know.
You got magic.
I've got magic depression.
So yes, K.A.I, you absolutely can do a medicine check if
Yes.
you'd like to. As you do have a lot of knowledge about the inner workings of organic creatures.
Yes, I have a great deal of knowledge about the inner workings of organic creatures. That's exactly
most
what I say.
knowledge.
Sounds terrifying.
Yep. Going to get in there and figure it out. I have gotten an 18.
At 18, there is nothing biologically wrong with Flute, but you do feel like there is something off about him, so you can do a Arcana check with advantage.
I was about to ask
You can do an Arcana
if
check
I
with
could have
advantage.
advantage on an Arcana check.
Hit him with a party dart. Move along.
Again, fantasy role.
23 Arcana.
23 Arcana. Andrew, if this feels right to you, you are welcome to just give Aaron the info that the tinkering you did with your character sheet and explain that, and then Aaron, you can run away with that if you'd like.
Okay.
You don't have to. If you want to keep it secret, you can.
No.
I can flavor it out, but I think
that's right.
with that high, I think this is good to just communicate.
Yeah, so when I died, and I technically did die, but for my own ignorance, I got to come back. But I used to have the luck feat, which I no longer have, and I now have the shadow touched feat because there's some sort of dark energy that sort of has maybe followed me back to this plane. And I also have one permanent failed death save, leaving me one nasty roll from
Brutal.
dying again.
Just shout out to
Yikes.
Andrew for this, because this is all his doing. He thought of all of this for his character shift after the near-death experience that he had. So if you want to take that and kind of flavor it out, I mean, you have basically that amount of information. So
What does Shadow Touch do?
It gives me those like necromantic dark spells that I didn't know before.
yeah, like speak with dead, and yeah.
Tight.
We've noticed changes in your magic. Yes? You've noticed this strange shadow.
Right,
Is
ever
within
since
you?
I came back, I didn't learn those in college.
Perhaps you brought something back from the other side.
Well, can you get it out?
I don't know. Not easily, not quickly. I'm certain that with our powers combined, we can do the research needed to find a cure, but I don't know the exact nature of what you've brought back with you, or how it's bound to you, or what to do about it, unfortunately. But
And it's some real like actual doctor moment here where you do realize that it is not causing him any harm. It doesn't seem to be spreading, and it doesn't seem to be physically harming him. Like you can just tell there is just a sliver of this magic here, and it's not causing his body to necessarily like
Right.
decay in
Okay.
any way.
Well, except for that permanent missed death save.
Yeah.
That's gotta sting.
I mean, there's no way of knowing exactly how this could affect you in the future, so I think we should look into it. But for now, I mean, you seem healthy, so I wouldn't worry too terribly much, but we'll work on it. We'll solve this problem.
All right. And I don't suppose if you have some spare time, you might make me a replacement eye.
I can work on that. Absolutely.
So yeah, with you starting to pull things out of your bag of holding again, and go back to this other, getting to work on making things if you'd like. Let's cut over to
Drink more water, exercise, that kind of thing.
Klik and Moonboy. What are you all doing? And you together? Are you doing your own things? Where are you at?
The Moonboy is still in his bunk. I don't know what Klik is doing, but the Moonboy is Moon Gnome. He sleeps in a pickle barrel. There's no pickles in there anymore, but he is currently in the barrel, and he is sitting there, and he's humming a tune that he doesn't quite remember where it's from. And he's looking at his little moon fern, the last vestige, wherever it is he came from. And he says, "Do you think today is going to be a good day? Moon plant." He's probably got a name for it. Ernie. Ernie, the moon plant. Do you think today will be a good day? And I would like to roll for weal or woe, as I can do once a day.
Hell yeah! Oh man, are we establishing that you do that with your plant? Because please.
I think the Moonboy can trace portents from many places within this world, but We are definitely establishing that the plant's name is Ernie, apparently.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Great. So, this is a known thing for you. You brought this plant with you. It's like the only thing you have kind of from the world that you have come from.
Sure. This was with the Moonboy when this was the only thing besides his clothes and his sword that was with him when he was found.
And it kind of remains healthy no matter what, you've noticed too. Like you've left it in your barrel, you've kind of like, you take great care of it, I'm sure, but no matter what, it still seems to just do well and stay in its like fernish shape.
It seems to persist.
Yeah.
And the Moonboy has a belief that it is in some way connected to the moon that he has lost. He was involved in a cataclysm on his home world, and he remembers there being this enormous kind of sun-sized moon that all of these little planets rotated around, and he was on one of these little planets, and then they all woke up one day and the enormous moon was gone, and it's gone. And he seems to believe that the fact that this plant is still alive because it came from that moon means that the moon is somewhere.
Cool. So, and you rolled for wheel or woe?
I did, and I got a wheel, even.
Okay.
So today, going to be a very good day.
Yeah. And you see the plant just kind of like, it was doing fine before, but it just does that thing where if you watch plants get sun in a time-lapse video, it just kind of like opens just a little bit when
I follow a number of Instagram channels that show exactly that.
Moon plants.
Just plants in time-lapse.
So, yeah, you can feel that energy, kind of like get that bump, the caffeine has kicked in.
And he goes, me too, Ernie, me too. And he hops out of his barrel and starts up to the top deck.
Cool. And then Klik, what about you? What are you up to?
Klik is still upset about the perceived failure off ship before, where she failed to protect the Windrider from the ooze, and then failed to stop her from disappearing through the portal. So she is putting herself to work. She's trying to make herself useful on deck. She's helping Goat with the day-to-days, tethering ropes and checking out the crow's nest and making sure everything is, is good for space. I am a highly skilled sailor myself, so I know all the words. Yeah, I know all the sailing words.
Probably about episode 50, we'll finally memorize nautical terms.
Yeah. We'll get there.
She already knows them clearly.
Yeah.
Say another one.
But both you and Goat
bow rope.
Both you and Goat realize very quickly, and just don't. Like Goat doesn't bring it up, so you can tell me if you bring it up, but that there's not really work to do. No. The boat is in good shape. It's running smooth, but you're both finding things to kind of like retie and reorganize.
She's busying herself. Her Gitka is downstairs with K.A.I. She's trying to keep her mind focused on work and being useful around the ship, even if there's nothing particularly useful to do. For our new players, Klik, or the listeners, boy.
Same.
Klik is like a 7-foot tall pink mantis woman. She has big feathered antennas like a moth, and she has like deep pink chitin, like rocky exoskeleton. And she's very young and emotional for a young Tohr-Kreen.
Cool. So with that, as you all are kind of working away here, Talon, who's over there talking to Relic, and Relic is just like talking about how he's like, yeah, this ballista shooter, I just can't get it to align right. I can't get the kind of like the balance of the front weight every time I move it around and kind of readjust it. And Klik, you make eye contact with her, and you don't even need to roll a check for her to be like, Jesus Christ, get me out, like sending you that, like, please God, help me look. As she is like, yeah, sure. She's still figuring this ship out, but she knows that you can maybe, interpret that look, and she's like, oh.
Sure. I'll come over and Goat, I need your help with moving bow barrels.
Oh yeah. She looks. She's like, we have bow barrels now. That's great.
Yeah,
we need it.
They're in the front and or back of the boat.
She looks at you and goes, Klik. Wow, I thought you were ready to take over as bosun. Man, good thing you should be glad I'm sticking around because
I don't need to know the words to know where they are.
Yeah, but if you need to communicate, she's like starts lecturing you as you walk up here, and Talon quickly goes, "Hey, what are you guys up to? What do you guys do on the ship? Like looking, being like, please, anything." And Relic is like, they just kind of like do chores, and then Goat, the big Goliath looks at him and he's like, that are very important, and I'm glad they do them because the ship would not just work very well without them. And Talon is like, yeah, I know what a bosun is to Relic. She's like, I'm very good at, I've been on a lot of Spelljammers before, so, I know what's happening. And he's like, okay, sorry. And Goat's like, oh, yeah, really? That's cool. And she just walks away. She's just like kind of uninterested and distracted and doesn't really know what's going on here. But Talon looks at you, Klik, and is like, so, who's in charge here, really? And Relic goes, and she's like, no, I want to hear from her if that's cool. And he's like, okay.
The captain. Captain Goliathan's always in charge.
Okay, but
he's the captain.
It seemed like he was kind of just down to do whatever you all wanted to, though.
Well, he likes to take his crew's opinions into account.
Huh?
But he makes the final decision.
Very, that's good. I'm glad he's willing to listen. What kind of spellcaster is he? Talon leans up, scratching her head with her big mechanical arm.
Spelljammer? I don't know. As far as we know, he's an excellent captain and he drives the boat real well.
Okay, well. And just real quick, we have art up on the screen here of Talon. This is Talon. Jordan, it's amazing. It's so good. The stuff you've been doing on your art strip is so good. And you're also very good.
Yeah, she came out super good.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't put that one up on our Roll20, so I can't pull it up real quick. But
that's okay.
No worries.
I'll show it to you soon. It's very good. But yeah, so this is Talon. She's has this big mechanical arm, and she scratches her head, and she kind of shrugs and looks at you and goes, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put my nose where it doesn't belong. I'm just asking."
He's a very accomplished captain.
Right about this time, Moonboy comes walking up from below deck behind this conversation and hears it happening. He's like, "You guys talking about the captain?"
He's a great captain.
He's a great captain. He's really good.
Hey.
And quite the jammer.
Well, I'm excited to see what he's got. We're gonna need it. Speaking of needing things, can I get something to eat? I'm starving.
Yeah, I'll take you to K.A.I.
Cool. And we can kind of just
I'll lead her downstairs to the kitchen.
Yeah, you lead her down below deck, kind of to the laddered area that takes you down there, and you all bump into the kitchen together. And Talon's kind of sizes you up and just casually is looking around. It's like, what's going on here? As you all are hanging out in the kitchen, and she's like, oh wait, so you, K.A.I? You go by K.A.I, right? Yes.
Yes. Hi.
So
hello. Sorry about the mess.
No. I've seen worse. I'm new here. I'm excited to be with you, but so you fight, you cook, and you do a little doctor work? She points over, just looking at the party dart maybe that is just sticking out of him. So
yeah, hold up my tools, and I like to keep busy. Can I get you anything?
She said she was hungry.
Oh, hungry. Okay. Would you like me to make you something? Or we have, bread and pickles and such.
Oh, I'm a huge pickle fan. I have not had a
huge pickle
cucumber
fan. All right.
Yes.
And I
You're
love
going
Challenge.
to fit. You're going to fit right in.
Absolutely.
We're
Try-
pickle fanatics.
Me too. Try the
Absolutely.
pickle with the bread. Pickle sandwich. 2 of them, please, Kai.
Pickles,
Absolutely.
one bread.
And whatever Talon wants.
Yeah, I'll bust into the larder, get out some food for these guys.
Cool. Yeah. Since you're getting a nice spread together, she's like, so y'all are in this with me. You're down to go rescue this. What do you call her? Something cute, Moonboy, a moon girl. That's it.
She's the moon girl. I'm very excited. She had a moon rotating around her head. I'm wondering if I can get a moon, or if maybe there is a moon missing moon boy somewhere. I don't know. I'm excited about her. But yes, we're all in. Unless you turn out to be evil, then we'll probably fight you like we did Janice. Just saying.
Oh well,
You're not evil, are you?
She her big mechanical hand goes over her chest and she goes, "Cross my heart. I'm not."
And the moon boy would like to read this with all of his moon boy wisdom.
Absolutely. Give me that insight check.
This is a full-on, you're not an undercover cop, are you? You have to tell me.
And you can do it with advantage because you're in your element. You're
All
eating
right.
a pickle. You're in. Kai's
Dude,
making snacks.
Pickle
This is-
sandwiches
advantage.
Yeah.
in both.
I'm definitely
Pickle
picturing a
advantage.
pickle sandwich as like pickle bread.
Sure.
Pickle, like the pickles or the bread.
Yeah, of course.
And the
Or
bread
maybe
is
it-
the contents.
Or maybe it comes normal and he's like, no, this is all wrong. And like has to take it apart and put it together. Anyway, the pickle of advantage has spoken. Here we go. Okay, not bad. That's gonna be a 24. Let's call it a 24 to see if Talon is lying about a flat-out evil Talon.
Yeah, flat out evil lie, absolutely not. She's having fun right now. You can tell that she's like enjoying feeling you all out as well. It seems like a lot of her kind of like questions and like just maneuvering around the ship so far has been to feeling out. And it's very, like, she's being polite, is what I'm trying to say. Like, she's not evil, she's being polite. She's feeling out this, she knows she's on your
Sure.
turf. Yeah.
And the moon boy lets it hang for a weird second because it's been a weird week, and then he goes, "I can tell that you're not evil. You seem pretty cool. You seem like you fought a Janus or two in your day.
I don't know what that is, but
It means turning on your friends and having to kill them. Whatever. Pickle sandwiches."
Klik is visibly bothered by Moonboy
Yeah.
bringing up Janice a number of times,
Yeah.
and she busies herself studying the Githka and whatever Kai's tinkering is.
I think.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to make this enchantment that you've been enjoying permanent.
That would be great.
That's my goal with the gift
That
card.
would be very. That's wonderful.
Jet.
Thank you, Kai.
That's for the DM also.
shit. Cool.
Working on that, and also trying to finish assembling the suit of plate armor that I've been working on.
Okay, cool. And are both of those things that need a specific time with your build, or is it just a thing you can do? Okay, cool. So, yeah.
It's not specified how to create magic items, so it's sort of
Okay.
up to you how it's
Cool.
going
Well,
to work.
We'll dig on it, in on it, but for now, just in this day, you can kind of have that anxiety power of like you're avoiding one thought. Everybody's kind of like productively procrastinating on the ship, and that's
Yeah.
what you're able to do here. Is just like be focused on this, be dealing with this for the day, and you can do those things in this day.
Okay. Great.
And if I gave you too much, we'll figure it out later. But
It's broken. No, no. Screws
Talon,
loose. Ah.
Talon looks at you and says, "Oh, you make things yourself too.
I do.
That's amazing."
I
so, a construct that was made, making things himself. I love that.
I made. What? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Where did you come across this arm of yours?
Oh, I
Oh, thank God somebody said something. Let's talk about the arm.
I think I recognize the maker's mark.
I'm honestly impressed you all made it this far without bringing it up. But, oh yeah, I wanted a mechanical arm, an arcane, non-organic arm. And
Like ever
so
since you're a little girl, or?
well, it was more of a teenager. But, yeah, so I cut off
Sure.
my own arm and had this arm built for it
Cool.
myself, for my body.
You had it built custom.
Well, I had another one that wasn't as good, but this one's much better. She kind of like, you can see some like arcane sparks inside of there.
Do you know who made it?
Yeah, what do you
I
got
do.
there? Panasonic? What is that? Motorola?
She looks at you and is like, "What language is that?" And she looks at you, Kai, and is like, "Do you not know who made it?"
I think I have an inkling.
Okay.
I used to work in a workshop years ago, and it's marked the same way that we would mark our work. I don't remember making this, but it could have been Heinrich on his own, perhaps somewhere else.
She looks at you and nods and is like, "What did you call him?"
Heinrich? Friend of mine?
She smiles and is like, Kai, I'm so glad that our fortunes brought us here together, because I bought this arm from someone else. I had it commissioned through. I was not allowed to meet the maker of it, but it was specifically designed for me. And I have heard of you. I have heard of the Hammerstein, the creation known as Hammerstein, the magic item that made itself. And sorry, not to call you a magic item. I did not mean to do that, but
It's all right.
You are part of the lore of folks like me who seek out creations of the cisterns, and I'm very glad to meet you.
Well, that's very nice. I'm glad to meet you as well. I had no idea that people knew about me.
Yes, tell us, Talon. Tell us about you. What do you do? You hunt these cisterns? What do you do, Talon? Tell us about Talon.
Sure. And she like kind of gets on a stool and leans back and like kicks her boots out a little bit, and she says, yeah,
Cisterns, legends, how are you?
Talon, you sound like you're so busy all the time. Tell us
I am.
about you.
I am. She says, I can get work anywhere I go.
Drunk Moonboy.
Cool.
And she's like, I can get work anywhere I go. I mean, I'm an accomplished Spelljammer. This tends to, she puts her hands like, this tends to kind of catch people's attention. And I do a little bounty hunting here and there. I like to float around and be able to follow whatever pathway I want to. So it's taught me a lot, and that's why I have this kind of like shortcut for us. She says, it's like if we want to stay out of the way of the Meridian Tract and shave a couple days off of our trip, then I'm happy to. I've got a shortcut for us.
Really?
A shortcut.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and she her hand like folds in itself almost and goes inside of its forearm and comes back out with a small ball on a chain. It's like a glowing orb almost, the size of like I don't know, like a tennis ball. And
The old ball and chain.
Case, if you can throw the Talon artwork back up here in a second, you can see it. Jordan actually was able to draw it.
This is fun for me because I didn't know what I was drawing. So now I get to find out.
And she pulls it up and out, and you see it has a slight glow to it. And if you like all get closer and look into it, you can see floating what are pretty recognizable as planets, and you all are aware enough of the space that you live in to see this is sort of some sort of map of sorts. And
Of our corner of wild space?
yes,
In this little.
yeah, in this orb. And she kind of twiddles the chain a little bit and changes the things holding this orb, and it zooms in, and you all can see Chandos. You all can see the rock, which is this like asteroid city that you came from. You can see Capri, this, or that's not, but you can see a couple other like planets that you would recognize around here, and in between it, there is, and it's all floating around. It's not like, a solar system map is always shown to you as like the planets go out right here, but they're really constantly in different positions from the interior sun. And that's what this is kind of mapping a little bit, is these planets moving around here. And she says, so, my contact to get us what we need to get to Laloon is on Glyph. And is a planet's past the Rock of Brawl, farther that way, a place that your spelljamming ship never goes. And
Do we know why it never goes there?
yes, mind flayers live there. And it is, as your captain is notoriously one in his past to avoid dangerous situations, the human and mind flayer interaction is historically negative.
Yeah, is anybody playing Baldur's Gate 3? Because it's upsetting the way that they do mind flayers, and I'm particularly afraid of them right now.
Well,
Yeah, they're terrifying.
I will say, a thing I like doing with this game is we're playing in a speculative futuristic version of Realm Space, and so there are a lot of mind flayers doing a lot of things, but the general culture of mind flayers is that they are not worried about eating other sentient humans. It's part of how.
Okay.
Part of their culture. It's part of what they do.
Kind of a skinwalker situation. You don't bother
Kind
them.
of a Janus situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it-
right up until the end there.
And especially at Glyph too. Glyph is kind of like notorious for people going and not returning. But it is a city. They have like plenty of cities on it. There's people who live there. But so she's like, we're going to Glyph. Don't worry. I have an inn. We'll be okay. But in order to do it, we have to cut through this nebula, and she points to this little star globe, and you see what looks like a large purple cloud between Chandos and the planet of Glyph. And she goes, a lot of people don't go that way. I've been that way plenty of times. I'm not worried about it. So if I don't know when once we call it some downtime for the night, if you could put in a good word with your captain, this is the right move.
The Moonboy is fascinated with this thing.
Yeah, I thought
He's reaching out to touch it. He goes, "What? What is it? Where did you get it?"
Oh, it's I bought it. It's not a.
It's a PlayStation 5. I knew it.
Yep, I have a high enough follower count that I got gifted one.
Unbelievable.
No, but it's she explains that it is a map of sorts, but it's not it doesn't, even though the things are moving, they're all speculative versions of it. She's like,
Okay.
nothing's on here that I don't know about. It kind of is connected to my arm, and I'm able to put what I know in there, and it displays that. It's kind of like you would write on a piece of paper, if you were to draw out a map of like a forest, and a tree is here, I kind of put things here. So,
Cool.
this will help us get through the nebula. And
That's cool. I've got
Right
a
on.
map
You guys-
too. And he taps his hat and winks.
what do you mean? She says.
I've got a map too.
Oh, it's like in your head?
That's in my hat. And he winks
Oh.
again.
Nice. Can I see it?
Absolutely not.
And
It's
she
the
looks
little laugh you keep doing that's throwing us all off.
I'm sorry. It feels like I'm just matching everyone's energy. It feels
No,
like a
no, you're
conspiratorial
not.
vibe.
It's not coming off conspiratorial either. It's coming off deviously horny.
I must say, K.A.I, I think you must look inward to find the source of that horniness, my friend.
actually,
dear.
Moonboy, you want to just roll a charisma check real quick?
Sure.
Just see how she takes this.
That is a natural 1, negative 1.
Okay.
I have effectively rolled a natural 0
Wow.
just now.
You grossed her out.
Yeah, Klik
She
did
looks
that
at-
once.
I did too, and it was also charisma.
She
We're
looks
a
at you.
cool crew.
We're so fun. Welcome to the.
Oh
We're
man,
gross and rude and very weird.
I'm gonna build a dungeon of just like very polite people that you have to ask nicely to get through. And it's gonna be
Totally.
great.
That's our
Absolutely
kryptonite.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is not a negative 1. I'm actually at a 0 charisma now. So that's just a 1.
A regular
Cool.
one.
So she was gonna slap you in the face, but instead she just looks visibly freaked out and looks down at you and is like worried about what's happening here. And she's like, "Cool, well I'm gonna go find a hammock
What?
for later."
Why don't people go through the nebula?
What?
Oh, it's dangerous, but
I have a map in my hat. What's happening?
she
Yeah, they took a
it just
turn.
like she just like ignores you and looks at you, Klik, and it's like it's dangerous, but it's really not that hard. All you gotta do is fly around until you find the base of Mystic's Mountain, and then you circle it until you see the Shard Lake, and from there you only need to go through the Grave of a Thousand Eyes, but then it's just straight
what?
shot to Glyph.
I'm sorry, the last one was what?
Oh, and she like pulls up her little orb on a chain, and it zooms in again, and you can see a large cylindrical, multicolored spire that looks like a mountain, but is clearly made of like cloud gas. And she says, "You just go around the base of Mystic's Mountain, and then
I caught
inside of the orb, it goes to, it like continues traveling until you see this field of ice. And she goes, then you go until you see Shard Lake,
Yep, caught Shard Lake as well. Yes.
and then you just move around Shard Lake until at some point, and you see what looks like a bunch of yellow eyes, like off in the distance inside of this like dark purple. And she goes, then you just go through the Grave of a Thousand Eyes and shoot! Straight shot to Glyph.
That was the one that sparked the double take.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the dangerous part?
No, I would say that's one of the less dangerous parts. I mean,
Oh.
you should definitely stay clear of the nursery and feed the elementals if you come across them, and get the hell out of there if you hear any singing. But it's really not that hard. I've done it 3 or 4 times.
I'm sure you'll walk us through all that. Maybe Goliathan will want to
just go the
see
long
this
way?
himself.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
that's your call, I think, because I can tell you for sure that the Meridian, if we take the long way, it will take 11 days, and the Meridian Tract will beat us there. But,
That's bad.
I mean, we could still, maybe not, that's just my guess. You know, maybe they got caught up, maybe the news of one of their most important leaders dying and you all killing them will not get to them that fast. You know, maybe they'll have trouble finding Laloon. Maybe they don't know where Ventress hit her.
All right. Well, if you're confident that we can make it through in this more dangerous path, then
Well, if you guys die, I die.
trust you.
So I bet my life on it. She says, kind of like being very flippant about everyone dying.
that's
Yeah,
heartening.
but you just cut off your arm, so you don't seem
That's
that
true.
concerned about it.
She says, and one of her fingers turns into a knife, and she takes an apple and is like cutting up pieces of it.
Whoa, knife finger.
Oh yeah, you like that?
Can't believe I didn't think of that.
I know. I put that in later. This is a custom build. She says. Yeah.
Genius. My God.
And you hear Goliathan come over the Rocky Talkie here, these sending stones that apparently were Goliath's creation that let you all kind of like party line. And he goes, well, I'm about out where I know to take us. What's the next move here, folks? He says.
Captain, our passenger Talon has an idea of a shortcut that we could take to reach our destination more quickly. Perhaps you'd like to take a look.
Well, hold on. And you feel a boom as this ship kind of like goes out of terminal speed as you all have been traveling at this just like insane speed, and then there's this adjustment that you all are familiar with, and pretty soon after that, there's the door comes open and Goliath comes in, hands on hips, with his boots and cowboy hat, and he strolls in kind of up out counter level, and he goes, "What's the word here, friend?" He says to Talon, and she goes, "Well," and she leans back and she goes, "First of all, what kind of helm do you have in this thing?" And he goes, "That's none of your goddamn business." And she looks visibly surprised. She goes, "Oh shit, sorry man, I'm not trying to." And he goes, "That's okay. You trust me, I'll trust you." And she says, all right. He goes, "Now where are we going?" And she looks at him and she goes, "I want to cut through the Harmony Fields." And he goes, "The Violet Nebula?" And they look at each other, and he looks at you all and goes, "What's the move?"
She says that if we take a longer way, the Meridian Tract will beat us to the Moon Girl. And that seems like a catastrophe.
He sighs and looks at you, Moonboy, and goes, "Moonboy?"
Yes, just a second. And he turns around and he takes his hat off. And he looking back at, don't look. And he looks into the hat, and in the utter darkness of his conical wizard's hat, stars twinkle to life, and you see what we now know to be constellations of moons and a vast map of interconnected lunar constellations. And in the middle of all of them, a black new moon that turns around, just
Black?
like in the mighty, the backside is black.
Okay.
Turns around, just like in the mighty Boosh, to show the lighted upside. And it says,
Hello, Moonboy.
"Hello, the moon.
How are you?
I'm well.
missed
How
you.
have you been? I've missed you as well, Moon.
Great. I've been great.
I have a question for you. We've made a new friend. Her name is Talon. She's got a robot arm. It's pretty cool. I think it's a Samsung.
Far out.
I thought so. But she wants to take a shortcut. I think we're going to find a moon girl. Her name is Laloon. I don't want to... It's a whole thing. This isn't about the question. I'm just very excited.
Wonderful news.
I thought so. But she wants to take a shortcut. Is it a good idea to take the shortcut?
Let me think about it. Sorry, I was sort of doing K.A.I there for a second.
It's all right. We all sort of
slipped
What
into
if we
it
all
there.
looked over and it was K.A.I doing the voice?
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked up, dude.
We all-
Not cool.
Stop, you
Not
can't
cool,
do that to
K.A.I.
him.
we all sort
You
of
think the
slip-
Windrider's bad.
Yeah, that's just...
Kind of slipped into it there.
Look,
I've got it locked the fuck in now.
We all...
So,
That's
yeah,
okay, the moon. We all sort of slip into K.A.I every once in a while. It's a very infectious accent to do.
So yeah, you inside this own little world of yours that is magically expansive and has this lunar entity inside of it that gives you divination of what is happening. You speak to it, and the moon kind of like leans back and thinks, and you get it for free. You just get you get wheel, woe, or a mix of both, right? And what is your question?
My question is, should we take, or would it be fortuitous of us to take this shortcut that Talon is telling us about?
You get a strong wheel.
Wheel. Great.
Yeah.
Great. So the moon, you think it's a great idea, huh, the moon?
I think you should go for it.
You're right, the moon.
Little bit.
Yeah.
I said I was locked in,
fast.
Moonboy. I said. But I was wrong, Moonboy.
It's
I
okay.
was wrong.
I still
But
love
it
you,
is
the
a good
moon.
idea.
I believe in you. You've always been so supportive of us,
Thank
the
you.
moon.
It's not that easy to have a bunch of NPCs talk to each other, is it?
Goodbye, the moon. I miss you.
I miss you too, Moonboy.
Bye then. And he,
I love you.
I love you too. Pulls his head out and he goes, all right. Yes. We will take the shortcut.
And Goliathan looks at you and he goes, Moonboy,
Yeah.
why do you want to find this Leloon?
I guess if I could find her, maybe she was there when the moon went away. And maybe she knows more than I do. I only remember bits and pieces. I remember they lied to us. The moon dads and the moon moms. And I just want to find the moon.
So finding this moon girl is finding your home for you a little bit?
Well, maybe I can fix it. If I get the moon back, then maybe all the planets will be, I don't know, uncrashed into each other. What do you want me to say? It's
No,
all I have.
I just want to make sure this isn't I want to make sure if we're going to go do this and we're going to go risk our necks that it's for a good reason, and shit shooting, it seems like a good reason. And he
Yes.
puts his hat back on that was already on, you know what I mean, where you put, he just takes it and then he looks at you, looks at Talon and goes, you jam? And she goes, yeah, jam. And he goes, all right. And then he walks out.
Are they about to go do cocaine together?
No, they're gonna play guitars. They're gonna play guitars together.
They're gonna play bongos.
And with that, we're gonna cut to break as you feel the ship kick back into terminal speed, and you all are headed off to what was called the Harmony Fields or the Violet Nebula. So,
We should ask about that singing
boy.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we sort of glossed over a lot of stuff.
Well, the Grave of 1,000 Eyes did steal the spotlight.
Yeah, that's
singing.
that feels pretty self-explanatory, though. There's nothing good that's gonna come out of that.
Dead
you guys gotta
eyes.
slow me down because I'm not slowing you down.
we got a wheel. Moon
got a wheel.
says. Moon says.
Hey, Harlan,
Cool.
can you stand up and show everybody your cool shirt?
Whoa!
Yeah! First on screen, look at merch on stream.
Dang.
Merchandise.
You can buy one of these shirts. Do it. I'll put the link in the chat right now, I think. And then, shout out to I think we gave away 5 subs. I saw new people, or at least usernames
Yeah.
I didn't immediately recognize. I'll give away
Yo,
one
that's-
more. So if you're watching this and you're just checking this out for the first time, we want to say thank you by giving you a sub. So just say hi. We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break where we drink liquid and pee. We drink, we pee, and then we come back. So we'll drink pee and see you in 5 minutes. Bye. Hi, we're here. We're back. We legit were taking too long on break because we were really enjoying talking about what chat was saying, and it was really funny and good.
We got so many shout-outs
What
to
did
do.
they call Janice? Angry Sugar?
Evil sugar.
Evil
Evil
Sugar?
Full sugar, it's super right.
Guys,
So
that's
She's
the
a
squad
carnivorous
from.
ooze.
We're muted. We're muted.
Oh, jeez. Okay, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, whew.
All right, chat. Let us know. Okay, they got evil sugar. We're back now.
Yeah. Okay, we're talking about.
You got
Or maybe
evil
they're
sugar?
maybe they're blaming.
They might have just like tricked us into thinking we were muted by saying that. I legit think that might have just
Bastards.
happened. Anyway. Okay,
Punked by chat once again.
Just
Quick
evil.
quick shout out to Comedy D&D. Comedy D&D.
Oh my God!
for
they punked us.
hanging out with us tonight. I'm
feel
gonna
so-
drop a link to
I
their
feel so
Twitch in the
punked.
chat.
Also, what up,
They're
running
hanging out in the
mates?
Yeah,
Welcome.
super cool. But yeah, so we're gonna jump back into it. So Goliathan has agreed to take your ship through the Violet Nebula, the Harmony Field, as it seems to have two names that they both referenced it by, and you all, if you step out on deck here, as the ship is going through terminal speed, you can see this a bit as the ship has been kind of changed around direction. It has turned itself. Wow, nice, Jason. Shout out to Jason who's doing improvising our live soundtrack right now. So from far away, it just looks like a cloud, but Talon is up on deck with you, and she kind of points to this purple blob in the distance, and it looks like just one right now. It's just this far off luminescent shaped like blob of a shape, but as you get closer you can see the blob kind of turns into something that's closer to a seashell shape, like a snail shell, like a spiny snail shell that has like the long bit coming off of it, but is a swirly circle at the bottom. And as you're hurtling toward this thing at terminal speed, the blob of color begins to soak up the darkness around it. The haze that it is spreading more and more as you realize this is a huge, gigantic, like nebulas are the size of planets, if not bigger than, they're much, much bigger than planets, but this one is a smaller one. But anyway, me reading Wikipedia aside.
A pocket nebula.
This haze.
It's a house nebula.
It's a toy nebula.
Sorry,
nebula.
space size is hard to communicate. But
It's
anyway,
big but smaller than really big.
the biggest thing in the world. Yeah.
It's big, but still God to you. Does that make sense?
But like a petite god.
So as you're going
Petite
toward,
God.
oh no, I'm writing that down.
Pocket God.
Pocket
Love
God.
that rapper. Petite God.
So you see this haze spreading out in front of you until there's more of a swirl of violet and sapphire that is taking up the whole just in front of you, the whole vision in front of you. And as it's just spreading out and encompassing you more and more, there's a whoom as the ship kicks out of terminal speed again, still moving, still flying in this empty space, but it seems that the air is too thick around you. As you look around, everything has this purple tint to it. Everybody just looks like coated in this purple glow as the air that is... It's gone through the bubble a little bit too. It's kind of like filled it up. It doesn't seem to be noxious in any way, as it's just small, just tiny bits of debris. It seems to be dust and small rocks and such that are kind of making up this swirl of color. And here you are in the Harmony field. Talon, with her one organic arm and one mechanical arm crossed, looks at you all and goes, "This is gonna be cool."
It feels pretty cool. I feel.
It's beautiful.
I've never felt more confident.
And the ship is just kind of like floating through this haze. Kind of,
What?
it seems like you're going nowhere almost, but you can see the it's like smoke of this area going by you, so you're clearly moving. Sorry, go ahead.
The Moonboy asks Talon, I imagine we're all standing kind of on the helm, looking at it,
Yes.
being like, Talon, what was that? You said something about singing. What does the song sound like? And what does it come from? Is it funky?
Well, the only stories I've heard about the singing is from people who have been picked up here, kind of floating in their own little bubbles, holding on to any air that they can. Most who hear the singing don't survive it. I've never heard it, and but I just know I've maybe heard it, but every time I've gotten close, I've gone away. I've gone the other direction. So
It sounds terrible.
I suppose we'll know it when we hear it. I hope it sounds cool. I hope it's got a hook.
No, I hope we don't hear it at all.
I mean,
And
yes.
if we do, I hope it sounds terrible, so that we don't
first.
want to listen to it.
I guess that makes more sense, but something tells me it's going to sound pretty good.
Maybe we can put something in our ears so we don't hear it.
Ah, yes. Maybe you could, K.A.I, you could... Well, I don't know why we're even worrying about it now, but maybe we plan ahead. K.A.I, you could cook something up, some pizza
Potatoes?
dough or mashed potatoes. We could cram in our ear holes.
Is it about the singing or about what's singing?
well, she's like, honestly, I don't know. It's just it's more of a Spelljammer's legend for this nebula specifically, but really all nebulas that, if you hear the singing, stay away.
Sure.
Which, I mean,
We'll proceed
I don't know.
cautiously, but we won't make any potatoes yet.
I don't know if it's the singing that eats you, or if a monster can just keep singing while it eats you. I'm kind of.
Interesting. Well,
As-
honestly,
That's one for the philosophers.
yeah.
As
The
someone who
moon?
deals in musical magic, have I ever heard of anything like this in space?
I was hoping you. would
Yeah, I
ask
deal in musical magic. You heard me right.
that, dude. Hey, come on, I didn't learn that in college. Slide, all right. I was gonna let that slide.
I didn't. I didn't learn that in magical sword college or musical sword college. Excuse me.
No, I went to a bard college.
Yeah.
I
He
just
went
go by
to
what's
Where
in the
you
book,
studied
you guys. I'm just
swords.
going
he
by
went
what's in
to
the
he went
book.
to Choate. He went to Harvard Sword.
It's like
Whatever.
going to a liberal arts school to study accounting.
Harvard Sword has a great wing at CU. It's incredible.
I studied swords at Juilliard.
Do I know anything about this, Harlan?
Whatever. I studied
Can I-
poetry and rhetoric in real life, so I have no reason to make jokes.
What do you mean, like on the streets?
Yeah, you can do a history check.
Whoa, a nat 20, baby.
Oh boy.
Of course, it would be for
You know when to
magic.
roll them.
First, incredible.
22.
22. Yes, there are legends. I mean, you're familiar with musical magic, so you know plenty
Yes.
about. We've made that clear.
It's just got a ring to it, like maritime law.
Musical
bard-
magic.
What bard college are you? DeVry, I think.
Barnes Business.
Phoenix
I
University
was gonna
Bard
say,
College.
you did die and rise from the ashes. I feel like you went to Phoenix.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be canon that your bard college is called Phoenix University.
I haven't said this in a long time, but stop being funny. I have D&D to do.
Oh,
We haven't
that's
been
good.
funny in months.
You don't know what it's like.
For some of us, years. Okay.
No, I've just gotten better at shutting up. No, so with that, you're familiar with musical magic. You have heard of sirens. You've heard of harpies. You kind of know of monsters that can use magic to entice creatures. But you have also heard of singing planets themselves. And that's something that is kind of like in the back of the book situation. You know, it's like in just a couple of lines, and they don't really, like, no one really goes into it because it's kind of an unsubstantiated thing. But you've heard of it. And again, that's me not saying that's what this is. That's me saying this is the range of things. And the simplest one kind of being like harpies, and there's probably nebula harpies. The farthest reaching one, the rarest one, being singing planets themselves.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I'll relate that to the group.
Yes, I remember you singing us songs about these things.
and as you all are gazing out,
Sweet, sweet prog rock songs about space mermaids.
and as you all are gazing out, this, like, it's a beautiful scene. You know, these kind of like mix of blues and purples is. You've never seen anything like this. You've maybe seen it far off, but never been inside of it and have it so encompassing. And all of a sudden, there's a thunk on the deck, and it's spooky, maybe, because it's just a slam out of nowhere. And
Icky thump.
let's have two people do perception checks real quick.
May I?
on What that was? Absolutely.
I'll roll one.
Yeah, go for it.
16.
That is a 23.
Moonboy, you see this thump, and Klik, honestly, you're able to quickly register the thump was surprising, but not that large, as it was Cobble scurrying down the mast as fast as she could and losing her footing and smacking against this deck right here, and she's dead. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm tired of playing scary here.
Episode over.
No, I did not take that dungeon episode
She was-
advice.
She was ready for it.
No, she
Yeah,
pulls herself
That's
up,
what she wanted.
and this kobold, this little old wizened kobold who's always worried about her own death, pulls herself up after falling, and she looks up at you all and goes, "Why are we in the Violet Nebula?
Did nobody tell you we were coming here?
No,
Oh,
I was sleeping."
I point at
Oh, wow.
Talon.
we're taking a shortcut.
It's a shortcut.
We have
Do you
to beat
object?
that Meridian tract.
Meridian.
The option was the nebula or the Meridian tract.
Nebula.
You all say this kind of like half-heartedly, and she looks over at Talon, who you all pointed to, and Talon waves, and she crawls. You've never seen her so spry. She crawls up Talon like she is a wall of ivy. And
Yikes.
she grabs her by the front of the shirt here, and she looks her eye to eye, and she goes, "Did you tell them to take us to the Violet Nebula?" And she's like, "Well, I prefer to call it the Harmony Field." And she's like, and she's like, "Yeah, come." And she pulls and Cobble's holding on as hard as she can, but her mechanical arm is clearly very strong and like pulls her off and sets her down. And Talon looks and shakes her head down at Cobble. And Cobble's just like,
She's a jumpy thing.
What?
It's Cobble, cool
Have you-
it.
Have
It's
you
all
been here
right.
before? Take a
great.
deep breath.
Do you
It's
know-
great
do you know
here.
this- Do you know this place?
Look how purple it is.
Violet.
she's
Go
just
get-
like not
go get her
not
thunder
answering.
shirt.
Kai, she's panicking. She's panicking. Let's tie her to the mast.
Can I try to tend to her? Put a hand on her shoulder?
Sure. What kind of check?
Calm
do you
her
think?
down?
Persuasion.
Intimidation. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, shut up or
Medicine?
Uh,
Party
you-
dart.
do you have
Yeah.
do you have snacks on you?
Yeah, I've got snacks, of course.
Where do you think
Okay,
you're
you
talking
can
to?
do a medicine check if you're giving her snacks to calm her
Yeah.
down. I would.
Here,
count that
let's
as
sit
medicine.
you down. And let's have a nice cookie.
It's my DM tip for the night. Everybody, if you can do a medicine check if you're giving a panicking creature
I love
snacks. Yeah.
What if it's a gross snack?
I rolled a 1.
Oh no! Oh, it's a gross snack.
I'm ready to grab Cobble if she's gonna run.
I rolled a 1.
What
Wait,
happened?
have you ever rolled a one?
Yeah.
I do not remember
Yeah.
one ever.
Once
And
when he
for
was young.
snacks too. What a
A snack.
Oh, this is
characteristic Kai
terrible.
move.
Honestly, it's uncharacteristic because normally you're rolling 20s on these inconsequential.
I know.
She.
I'm so sad.
What do you offer her? What snack do you offer her?
Little macaron.
She takes the when you offer it out, she smacks it down with her hand, and she looks at you and goes, "I said it was going to be you that got me killed, and I'm right. She's
Why
only
is
with us because she wants to hang out with you, and now she has taken us here, and we're all gonna die."
You literally say we're all going to die
Right, but this time-
everywhere we go. You said it at the Chili's. You said it at the parking lot. You said it, you say it everywhere we go.
She's like, "It's true. It's true. I'm a worried creature. I love my worry though because it keeps me from being eaten. And I think this is a place where stars are grown and where people ship their dead." And Talon's like, I mean, sort of. She
Ship their
says,
dead?
People ship their dead here?
yes.
Jump.
Is that where all the eyes come from?
No, it's like yes, and Talon is like, yeah, that the field of eyes, yeah, this is.
I asked you about that specifically.
Well, I mean, a graveyard's no big deal.
You didn't even say it was one.
She said it was the grave of 1,000 eyes. I mean,
True. It's implied.
yeah, I mean,
Withdrawn.
sorry.
There may
It
be a
didn't
yard
say-
involved.
yeah.
She didn't specify.
There are
There's nothing-
cultures and there are belief systems that think that you should feed the energy of your mortal being back into the world, so they collect their dead and then jettison them into nebulas to hopefully feed stars for life to continue. So, I mean, that's not
Sounds
weirder
nice.
than like, yeah, I think it's great.
I'm-
And Cobble's like clawing at her face, just like listening to this, like.
You never mentioned not wanting to come here before.
I also, okay, do you want me to list off the places I don't go so we make sure to not go to them in the future? Number 1, hell. Number 2, the interior of the sun.
Number 3, the bathroom on the very bottom deck of the ship where you're afraid to go because it's haunted or something. Number 6,
Okay.
the bathroom on the top deck where you're afraid to go because you're always doing this. You see what I'm saying?
There's only one bathroom that I like, and it's because the toilet seat is much smaller, and I'm
It has
afraid of
nothing to
falling
do
into
with
that
a hex that you think will befall you.
No, it's because of my tiny ass. She said.
Fair enough. I too know the burden of a tiny hinder.
Yes, I imagine
Also,
you do.
we have talked about canonically our toilets are bags of holding, essentially. that
You're
just-
going
just
through.
shoot into another. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
They're terrifying.
Shit
They are
back to another
terrifying.
dimension.
The
Yeah.
point is...
Someday I'm gonna diagram this out so it like exactly shows it, and it's gonna be it's gonna
Get
be
Nicholas
here.
from Paths Peculiar to draw the toilet of the dinger.
Somebody talk to her. She won't listen to... I've talked to the moon. It's fine. There's mermaids, maybe.
It's true.
And-
Moonboy had a positive portent.
A great visit with my old pal, the moon.
She's like, I mean, yes, but divination magic is so unruly. She says to you, and she's like, it said it was better for me to leave this ship. And wait, shit, maybe now it's right. And then she's doing that thing where like, you think if this is true, then that is true, and that is true. and it's starting to
Bro,
yeah.
you can't stop thinking like this. You just got to ride the wave. Jam.
Would you like
So
another
if
shot
there's
at a cookie?
Cookie?
No, but Moonboy, you can do a persuasion check if you want to.
Okay,
You can
I
try
don't
and
think...
try
I
and
think I
connect
have
with Ovredahl.
literally 0.
I cast guidance.
Yes! Moonsplain
As long,
me.
as long as you tell us what emotional guidance looks like in this situation.
I just put my hand on Moonboy's shoulder.
Persuasion is at a 0, so let's go ahead and roll that persuasion. That's gonna be an 18
Plus a D4.
plus a D4 from having my pal K.A.I by my side. Plus 3, that's gonna be a dirt 21.
Right.
That's a good cookie. That's got freaking grapefruit cream in it. You know, it's wonderful. Sugar, powdered sugar.
So you and
Cookie.
You and
You're familiar.
You don't get to tell
You're
Kyle
on
what
the
kind
spot
of cookies he
for a
made.
cookie?
You and Cobble are about the same size. And honestly, there's something about hearing this from you where she looks at you and she looks up at all of them. And she's like, and she doesn't have to climb up you to do this. And she just not as aggressively, but just gently kind of like pulls you closer to her by your robes. And she goes, Moonboy, I don't want to be a star. So, promise me you won't let me die here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And her tail kind of snakes up through her, next to you, and she goes,
Easy.
shake on it.
Okay. And I grab the tail.
Oh, traditionally the hand is used.
And
And I grab I turn and I grab the cookie from K.A.I and I give it to her and I go, jam, ride the wave, jam.
And she starts to eat the cookie and looks at you, Kai, and she kind of nods and is like, I
okay.
stepped over a line.
It's okay.
She's...
Hey, you did, just what people do when you roll a
It's-
natural one.
It's weird. It's weird out here.
She goes,
The instinct on
because
the
of this,
natural one is to slap.
How can she slap?
she looks at you and she's like, I trust you all. You're right. I'm sorry. And she's like, even if we get in bad shit now, because of this talk, I'll kind of stay tight. And she's eating a cookie. And,
She's cool now. She was freaking out, but it's okay.
I'm sorry
She's
you
cool.
got put in a situation that you're so afraid of.
Wild space. It's
We
freaky.
didn't know.
she shrugs and she's like, things. And she swallows. I'm afraid of a lot of things. And Talon goes, yeah, what's like the thing you're most afraid of here?
Yes, a question to ask.
And Cobble takes a bite, and she goes. Talon is like, what? She goes. She shakes her head. It's like.
She's got cookie mouth.
And she swallows, but she can't quite get it down. Do you have anything to kind of like help her, Kai? She's got cotton mouth, and she's trying to
Sure,
get
we'll get her some tea.
She's totally baked.
Yeah, Bessner. Can
I knew
Bessner do
it.
it? We haven't seen
Bessner, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Your little mechanical hummingbird.
He's like there with a tray of tea, and I just pour her some.
Yeah. Bessner's in the chat, please. We've got those icons. Do it. But with that, she's able to sip some tea and swallow it down, and Cobble goes, Astro-Protomordials. Astro-Protomordials. And Talon is like, what? You mean the ancient planet-sized creatures that are remnants of an ancient world that supposedly nest inside of nebulas? And Cobble's like, yes, exactly that. I've never been inside of a nebula, but I've always heard that it's like, with stars being cultivated, that like just weird shit comes around, and so I'm afraid of Astro-Protomordials.
I'll tell you what. How about we'll do an extra person on watch. Will that make you feel better? I'll take some of your shift. I'm quite good at watching. And the Moonboy reaches down and he presses the pump on his air Moonboys. And he steps lightly into the air and begins to glow with moonlight, and he ascends to the crow's tower. He flies for the first time with his new shoes. One of them's untied, you see. He's not very good at the tying part yet. And he lands in the crow's nest, and he says, "I'll help. Huh? I'll help."
She is not, you've not seen Cobble amazed by much. And with this sparkle of like this flare of like, and a thing you should not forget about your moon shoes, your moon boots, is that when you cast fly from, they are winged boots in the monster,
Sure.
in the DMG, but an extra flare to these is that they create this lunar aura off of them.
Sure.
So they always cast the light cantrip no matter what.
And the Moonboy's kind of doing this to he's leaning into it. He's going full Moonboy. He's being like, Cobble, it's okay. We are skilled adventurers. We got this.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so with you up there, she's like, all of you, you see the whole crew just kind of like looking up at you, and
He's hamming it up.
You hear
Look
Relic.
at me.
You hear
He's
Relic.
only got that one move.
Yeah.
Relic goes, holy shit! Like he even curses and kind of is like
Nice.
impressed with looking at you as he's.
Moonboy's like, check this out, and he pretends to like walk downstairs and comes back up in the crow's nest.
And Moonboy, can you do a perception check with advantage for me as you
Certainly.
are up there, kind of flying above the ship, as it's still moving through this space, not at this insane speed, so you can stay up with it as you're just kind of like Peter Panning around the ship.
That's wild. I rolled 9 2 times, but with my perception, that's going to be a 16.
So what you see here is this expanse of kind of sapphire and violet all around this purpley blue world. And you're looking for anything kind of to report back down, and Cobble yells up like, what do you see? Kind of looking for anything.
Purple. It's so purple and cool. It's excellent. What do I see?
Talon yells up like, you're looking for like a spire to like a mountain. It looks like it's not a mountain, but it looks like a mountain. And you do see amongst this, the only thing you see is like a circle far off in the distance that looks much, much darker, and you can't tell if it's like just a darker purple or if it's actually like maybe a window out into empty space or something. And so you can see that darkness there. If you would like to do some sort of other check to analyze what that is, tell me.
I will point to the others and just be like, he's kind of cavorting around, being like, oh, goofing off, making everybody feel okay about this sort of stressful place we find ourselves. And then he sort of stops and he's like, wait, there is a thing. What is that? Can everybody see it? And he points it to everybody else to ask for their perception checks, perhaps, because
Sure.
I'm sort of out of moves here.
I'm gonna ask Cobble too.
These astro protomordials, do they sing?
No, they're just like. She's like, I'm sorry, I got so worked up. It's just, giant. I have a thing. I'm thinking about dragons. I don't want to deal with giant, big creatures, and it's more of like that. It's more like a creature that's just like gigantic. I don't know. I don't think they sing. No, I've never heard of that. I've read a lot about them trying to just, arm myself with knowledge, but that's
Fear
nothing
reading.
I've come across. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will jump up to the crow's nest in two quick bounds and join Moonboy in the crow's nest to look at it.
I'm never gonna blow past this scene because I love it so much that Klik just is able to, from the deck of the ship, woof up to the middle mast, like sail section, and then woof up to the crow's nest, just 2 big bug jumps. And so yeah, you can do up there, and you could do a perception check with advantage too.
Oh, good. With advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. 22.
All right.
Well, a critical fail and a 22.
Whoa!
Oh boy. Well, that's what you
Love
get
to
for
see
being
it.
a cool bug.
Yeah.
So
Love to see
you,
it.
now that you are up there in the mast, Cobble yells up again, like, "What do you see?" And I'm just gonna do a quick, little cinematic here of this scene that unfolds in front of you as you were able to lock onto this kind of dark spot in the air. So you see what first looks like a floating cave almost as it appears out of this dark cloud that is around there. It's kind of obscuring. You can see it's like thicker dust over in this area. It seems like a floating cave at first because you can see that the light kind of goes into it and dies away as it goes inside. And you're like, maybe this could be the mountain because this could be a cave in the side of the mountain. The light is fading as it enters there, and but it quickly no longer seems like the mouth of a gigantic cave, and more like the mouth of a gigantic being.
Yeah,
As the
okay.
shape begins to emerge from the thick dust cloud off the bow of the ship, the luminescence of this nebula light outlines the shape of some sort of floating astronomical object, and you see 2 pectoral fins, one on either side of its flat body, and each the length of a small island. And they are slowly propelling this giant body fully out of the thick, colorful dust cloud, and it's drifting toward you through the field of purple dust. And
We all see this now, or just Klik?
Yes, it's what looks like to you all a giant manta ray. It's just swimming slowly through space out of this cloud, and
I'll get on my walkie-talkie to
gonna look
Kai,
at
and I'll get on my walkie-talkie to Kai and be like, "You're gonna want to take Cobble below deck."
in fact, both Talon and Cobble are looking away from this, and Talon goes, "So I got so worked up about the astro protomordials," and Talon goes, "Yeah, I mean, I don't even think they exist. I would have seen one by now." And you hear them both say this as this huge thing is just swimming over there.
Talon,
And,
you're needed on deck. Cobble, you're needed below deck.
Yeah.
So
Wait.
come with me.
Who needs to be below? I go.
I do. Yep, come with me.
Okay. And she kind of whatever. And we'll go with you. And Case, if you want to go ahead and throw that art up on screen.
Oh, it's been rolling. I've been watching it. It's
So
incredible.
you all can look and roll 20.
Oh my God,
Look at his mouth.
it's so big.
Yeah, you
Oh,
see
he's like a whale ray.
Look, we're
There's-
tiny. There we are.
Are we even on there?
Amazing.
Oh, holy moly!
So I guess we roll for initiative.
this
No.
Look at him, he's wet. We're not gonna attack it, are we?
No, we do
That's
not
the
touch.
plan.
We
No,
go
I'm-
very silent. Where is this art from? This is incredible.
This is done by the amazing Jeff Tice.
Woo!
This is amazing.
Drawing is the taste.
It's
Jeffrey.
It's taken
Tice.
everything I have to not send this to you beforehand because I love it so much.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Oh, this was your wallpaper on your desktop, wasn't it, Harlan? The other day?
It was. I realized it halfway through our Zoom call, and I just didn't say anything to like.
Yep.
I had no
so
idea what it
definitely-
was. I just was
As
like,
soon as
that's
I
cool.
saw this, I was like, I've seen this. Where did I see this?
Yeah,
This is
I didn't
so-
notice that.
This is incredible.
So yeah, this is the
Jeff.
scene. This is the scene you all see, and it is moving toward you.
So
It's definitely moving toward the ship slowly.
So are we? Well, yeah. I think the Moonboy is like tugging on Klik's, like, rags, and is like, "What is it? What is it? What is it? Kai,
Have I
tell Kai."
ever heard of or seen anything like this before?
You absolutely can do a history check if you'd like to.
I'm gonna put my hand on Kai's shoulder and give him bardic inspiration. Like,
We're gonna need your brains on this one.
I'll
You whistle,
turn
you
down
whistle him a
to
tune.
I'll turn down to Moonboy
Gonna
and
need
say,
that bardic inspiration.
I think it's an
1d8.
Aster
It's
Prido
1d8.
Mortal.
Right. I was gonna say.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. I want to not lose that scene, but I want to
Yep.
do it again real quick.
Sorry.
What did you get, Aaron?
So, with an 8 on that bardic inspiration die, makes up for my crappy roll, and I got a 21.
All right.
There it is.
I rolled a 5. So,
Yeah,
clutch.
Before I jump into it, Klik, will you do that one more time to Moonboy?
After the Moonboy tugs on the end of my cape, I'll put my hand on his shoulder and say, I think it's an Aster Prido Mortal.
Right. I was gonna say.
Yeah, and with all of this, Kai, you are able, something hits in your mind of, it's hard to not have all of your brain kind of go crazy when this is clearly the biggest living creature you've ever seen. And there are lots of myths and legends about things that are from other worlds, maybe from other like untouched parts of this world, some sort of deep sea feeling to this where this nebula is a dangerous place. People do not often come here, so probably beings that are kind of like known for being this mythical type would exist here. And so you know that it is unbothered by you in a lot of ways. It doesn't seem to be coming toward you, as it is something close to a primordial of space, and you would know it as being disinterested in tiny things and more interested in bigger things. So I don't know if that quite did justice to your 22. So if you have more specific questions, I'm definitely down to answer them. But
Do you have any idea what it is? Just
yes.
besides.
It is a
Astroportamordial?
yeah, it is an astroprotomordial, but it is a. I was gonna not reveal this yet, but I think that it's called a cosmic ray.
Nice.
And yeah, so that's a
This
corny
is what
name
hit
for
the
a
fan.
I knew a
giant.
guy who
Four?
went by that
Really?
one time.
Yeah, yeah.
He was,
Yeah, he was a
he was
road
okay.
dog in 1987.
Yeah, he was fine.
It's a meta
Cosmic Ray's
cosmic
pizza.
bad pun, but it is a manta ray, is a cosmic ray.
But it doesn't
Cosmic
seem.
ray.
It's just flying, and it's just flying right by us.
It's
It
an
does not
answer
seem
month.
Yeah.
It's flying right toward us, but it doesn't seem to be interested.
It doesn't seem.
So-
It's
to
an
want to-
anthromonopoeia.
What
is it?
Astroprotomordial.
It's an astroprotomordial,
Astroprotom. It's
an
what does
immense
it wa-
primordial
is
beast
an
of
ape, yeah.
darkest space.
The Moonboy
It's-
shouts back down to Kai and he goes, "What does it want? What's its mission?"
Probably to eat stars or something. I don't think it's going to want to mess with us. I think if
I'll
we
get
just
on-
sort
I'll-
of
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
try not to get swept up in its mouth by accident. That's
I'll get on the walkie-talkie to Goliathan and say, Captain, you're
Yeah.
gonna want to stay a long way away from that cave.
Yeah, I'm trying to adjust, he says, and you can see as he saw it, as he heard you all on the walkie-talkies, has turned the ship to try and like get around it, and Talon has turned around now too, and it's like, holy shit! And the ship is turning, and with that, there's just an intake of air from this, and you can just see gas being sucked into it, and all this debris just being full toward it, and the ship is, as it's spell jamming away, moves about halfway the distance that it was before, as you see this big cavern is just pulling it in slowly, and Goliathan comes over the walkie-talkie and he's like, oh boy, I just gave it the juice and there wasn't much to do with that. And Talon's like, yeah, tell him, oh shit, she's like trying to think of something to do. She's
You're
like,
the jammer.
I know.
Jam harder.
I'll toss her my walkie-talkie.
She grabs it and she's like, we're gonna need to take down the sails. And he's like, well, that's, you all are out there, you take down the sails. And
I'm on it.
she's like, got it, yeah. So we're gonna start next week's session with all of you rolling to see if you can effectively alter the ship to not get sucked into this being's mouth.
We can.
And that's
No,
what we're
now.
doing next week. No.
No.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
That's
We
past your
can.
bedtime. It's
Ah.
Oh, chapped at the mouth of a cosmic ray.
Oh my god.
we'll
Maybe
pick
we're
this
not
up.
supposed to get away from it. Maybe this is the wheel that the moon spoke of. The moon boy's already pitching wild
Whale, not
theories.
whale.
I rolled a whale. This is it. This is the moon.
Whale
Trying
or
to
wolf.
communicate.
Oh boy.
Oh, Harlan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's it. Yeah.
goodness.
we-
Sorry
There
for an
was-
incredible D&D session.
Oh, man,
that rocked.
amazing.
Thanks, pal.
Oh, boy.
I'm happy to do
Oof.
it. Shout out! I cannot shout out enough. Everyone, come check out his stream, which is tomorrow. Jeff is an amazing artist. He did this in 3 hours. He
Oh,
did it
yeah.
in
What?
3 hours.
Oh, yeah, my man grinds.
Gross. We hate it.
You guys know
Talent.
that
Artist.
all of the wallpapers on my computer are currently Jeff Tice BTH
Dude.
originals?
So are mine.
Yeah! We stand! You got fanboys.
It took everything I had to not say that in your chat today, Jordan, because I was like, I can't. They might figure it out that my background from the Zoom meeting was.
Nope.
I didn't notice it.
Did not figure it out until it swirled out of the nebulae at us.
Oh, it's so good.
Also, it was animated on the stream. Great job,
Yeah.
everybody.
Shout out to
So
Case.
good.
Case did that. Our
Amazing.
stream director.
Shout out to
Amazing.
Case.
Amazing.
Shout out to
Amazing.
Wardell
Good.
Oh, yeah.
for the titillating
music was great.
tunes.
And
Shout out to Big,
Big
Top,
Top.
Big top.
Big Top
Studios,
Studio.
providing all magical items for the program, potions, and unguents provided by Big Top Magical Warehouses.
Yeah, that's. I love that. So can we please make that all magic items provided?
Oh
by
yeah.
Big Top Studios?
Oh, it's happening.
Chat, that's Arc 2. We're on another
We're
adventure.
doing it.
Yeah, we're in
We're
Immediately
off.
get swallowed by this thing.
I
We're
also
gonna
want
die
Swallowed by a whale.
immediately.
Don't
I also-
worry, it's a Bible allegory.
Yeah.
We're gonna learn something about hard work. I don't know. I did want to shout
We're
out
gonna
Common
learn to be
D&D.
ashamed of our bodies.
Common D&D, SF Vegan Guy, and Bibliomancer in the chat. Thank you guys for coming in. Congratulations on those sweet free subs, and go follow them, you guys. They do a funny D&D Twitch show, and hell yeah! Shout out to
Also-
Cam W,
Yeah.
Clooney McRoy,
Yeah.
Uncle Brenner, all of those guys for helping me with the art.
And make sure you check us out on Stream of Blood on Saturday. It's the 21st. We are playing Blades in the Dark, and we have put together our crew, and it's really sick. So
It rocks.
Really- I
come
just
play with
wanna
us.
talk
It's gonna
about
be
it.
it's gonna be really great.
We
Yeah,
need
I
to
gotta
have a
peek at
sidebar about voices.
We do.
I got a peek at their party, and it's real
Dude,
good,
after
y'all.
this.
I felt jealousy. It's gonna be so good. Their characters are so good. It's gonna be very fun. I'll be hanging out in the chat, just watching y'all, because it's gonna be so good.
21st.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, this is kind of how we want to do it moving forward. Is when it feels natural as the crew goes from one place to another, and it feels like there are segments of the story to kind of partition it off into arcs. So this is the Harmony Field arcs, the Violet Nebula arc, and tell your friends about our show. Do it. It's the best way to support us. And that's it. Let's call it, and we'll see y'all next week. We'll see you on the Dungeon Thursday, and
Man, so glad to be back.
so glad to be back. It felt weird without it.
It felt
so
like 1,000 years.
y'all the best. All right, see you
We
later,
love
y'all.
you.
Bye, everybody.
See you next
Thanks
month.
for watching.
Bye.
Stargazer, Moonboy, Klik, the Crusher, K.A.I, Humbly Chef, and the Windrider, Flute, Whimteaser. They're better than heroes. They'll never be zeros. Better than heroes.
Man, that Jeff Tice art is something.
Boy,
Dude,
that Jeff
good.
Tice.
I literally sent this to everyone I know who watches the show who would like not mind me spoiling it for them. I was like, guys,
I'm jealous they got to see it
yeah.
before I did.
I
Send
have
it.
to
I
tell
want to
someone.
I want to get all of this art now because I haven't updated the background on my phone yet.
Yeah, can you send me this, please?
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
new
I asked him.
background.
He sent it to me, and I emailed him again. I was like, "Can you please send me the high res version? Because I want to print this out and put it in my house. It's so good."
Where?